Yo everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Steins. Last left off we got the Quisu ending, which wasn't a very pleasant ending in the terms of we didn't really get to stay with Quisu. So let us return to the save where we have the last choice we needed to make. We get the mail from Quisu asking where we are now. For the sixth and final flag for the true ending, we need to simply reply to it. Let me be alone. I need to think. Done. Now we just hit the E and see how things differ. So all that was pretty much the same. And we get the credits once again. So not much really has changed, in fact. Other than the fact we get the sweet ass music. Which, you know, you can never complain about hearing Gator Steiner. Hey, it's 4 degrees Celsius. Asshole. Admittedly, there may have been some slight changes to the text beforehand, like between. But I don't believe there was much changes, considering we got all the other flags beforehand, and because we just missed the last one. So everything is fairly similar, if not identical. I'm not entirely sure. I just hit the skip and let it play out. Phone? Excuse me. Do I need to actually do something? Yeah. Answer the phone, maybe?
Hi, moshi moshi.
Hello?
Eh?誰が?
Eh? Who?
僕がお父さん?
Dad? You're looking for your dad? I'm your dad? You lost me.
は?
Eh?
岡部倫太郎に変
Put
わる?
Okabe Minato on?
なあ、オカリン。
Hey,
謎
Okarin.
の女が変わってくれ
Some
って
strange
さ。
girl wants to talk to you.
誰だ?
Who is this? Please, come to the roof of the radio Kanishan thingy. Who is this? I came from the year 2036. I'm Hadashi's Itao's daughter. My name is Anime Suzuha.
ちょっと待て。
Wait,
鈴葉が。
Suzuha?
なんでここにいるんだ?
Why are you here? Hold on with those credits. Still a little bit left to do. Oh no! I didn't get the chapter opening, which is open the Steins gate. Oh well. She said to meet on the roof of the Radican. When I get there, I find it cordoned off. The roof was off limits to begin with, but now there's also it's also part of a crime scene, as if I need another reminder of the murder that took place here 3 weeks ago. I duck under the yellow tape and open the door. The lock is still broken. Oh, it's looking very shiny. I can hardly breathe after running up the stairs to get here, but I gasp for air and look across the walk, the stark white concrete. And naturally, my eyes go straight to the satellite sitting smack dab in the middle of the roof. No way. Wow, what's that? It's a robot, right? The Transforming King? My and Daru are just as surprised. What is that thing? I mean, it looks like Suzuha's time machine, but there's something different about it. Suzuha looked old and beat up. This one looks brand new. It's not stuck into the wall either. And besides, this is the beta world line where Seven's dystopia never forms. Suzuha has no reason to travel to 2010. The satellite shouldn't be here. And yet, I feel like I've seen it before. Where? When did I... Of course. It was on Dr. Nakabayachi's presentation. Right before the presentation started, something shook the building like an earthquake. And when I went to check the roof, the satellite was sitting there. Though still confused, I approached the satellite. Just then the hatch opens and someone steps outside. Okabe Rintaro? Suzuha? It really is her. The part-time warrior. John Titor. Time traveler from 2036. Dao's daughter who is born 7 years from now. Why are you here? I ask her the same question over the phone, but I can't help myself. I need answers. Are you Okabe Rintaro? I need to know. Yeah? The way she puts it makes it sound like she's never met me before, which makes sense. And now that we're talking face to face, I realise that there's something very different about her. For starters, what's with all the camo? It looks dirty and worn, like she's been fighting in it for a while. She's even carrying a gun, for some reason. And I'm pretty sure it's not a replica. Is she really Amane Suzuha? Hold on, just hold on 1 second. This doesn't make sense. No, calm down. Figure this out, Okabe. You know that this is impossible. Suzuha can't be here. She leapt to 1975 in her one-way time machine. She found the IBN 5100. You made sure it would get to you. Then passed away in the year 2000. So where did this girl come from? I'm a time traveler from the year 2036. I have a request from Uncle Ocarine. A request for. Not from. Uncle? You're an uncle? We don't have time to humour Mayuri's questions. Suzuha walks up to me and looks me in the eye. Her expression is grim. The next words out of her mouth are the last thing I expect to hear. This world line is headed for World War III. I need your help to prevent it. Please, help me change the future. Oh, God damn it. What the hell are you talking about? World War III? Oh no, that's really bad. Are you really a time traveler? You're not just messing with us here. Stay out of this, Dad. Dad? Oh, that's a shock. I mean, it's not every day a mysterious beauty calls me Dad. Though, to be honest, I prefer being called Big Brother. Wait, everyone just wait. Let me think. I take a deep breath. Okay, let's figure this out. I turn to Suzuha. That thing's a time machine. Suzuha nods, curtly. She hasn't smiled once. There's no hint of the cheerful Suzuha I remember. Instead, I sense strength, conviction, and steel resolve. Your father built it. That's right. Suzuha glanced at Daru. Where did you come from? The year 2036. I stopped in 1975 and 2001, just like John Tyler did in Ocarin's timeline. You what? That doesn't make any sense. She's obviously not in her 40s, which means that time machine can travel to the future. It wouldn't be much of a time machine otherwise. This isn't the Suzuha I know, but it is Suzuha. You're from a different future. A different future? What's going on in 2036? What about Seren's dystopia? Seren? What's that? Suzuha frowns. She doesn't know about Seren? That settles it. She's definitely not the Suzuha I know. You said something about World War III? Right, in my time, humanity has been reduced to less than a billion people. Has been reduced to less than a billion people. Less than a billion? But our population right now is like 6.7 billion. Are you saying 5.7 billion people have died? That's what happens when you use nuclear weapons. It was just like the Cold War, only this time they were fighting over time travel technology. It started with a race between the EU and Russia. Then the Americas got involved. And then things really went to hell. They all were desperate to stop anyone else from being the first to build a time machine. Whoever controls time controls the world, right? Oh, time travel? Again? It has the power to grant your dreams and at the same time destroy everything you love. I know that better than anyone. By 2036, the war's over, but it left Earth in ruins. We won't survive for long, not as things are. It's unbelievable. In the future of the Alpha World line, Seren used the time machine to fashion a dystopia where no one could oppose their rule. I guess this is where you had... I guess it's interesting because in the Alpha World line you had a monopoly on the time travel. In the Beta World line it was a race for all the superpowers to get the time travel. Suzuha traveled to the past to change that. She showed me how to escape that convergence. The result is this, the Beta World line. Here Seren fails to complete its time machine. But instead, 5.7 billion die in the fires of nuclear war. This can't be happening. My legs have been forward beneath me, I think, to my knees. Are you okay? Mayuri's knees beside me and gently rubs on my back. I'm too stunned to respond to her kindness. I glance at Suzuha, though I know it's absurd, part of me blames her. Why is this happening? You lied to me, you said a peaceful future was waiting for us in the Beta World line. We saved Mayuri, we changed the future. And now after everything we did, Suzuha appears before me once again to say that that wasn't enough? We're at a point of great divergence when... I know that already! Then you understand. 5.7 billion people are going to die, and the survivors will be left with no future, no hope. I came here to prevent that. And to do that, I need your help, Uncle Okari. I refuse! I reject her plea outright. Suzuha looks hurt, betrayed, like an abandoned puppy. How dare she look at me that way? I borrow Mayuri's shoulder and struggle back to my feet. I came here from the Alpha World line. I had to sacrifice the girl I loved to make it this far. I can't go back, not to the world line where Mayuri dies. I don't care if 5.7 billion people die. I won't let Krisa's sacrifice be in vain. One person versus 5.7 billion? It can't be compared. Suza's staring at me in disbelief. Mayu and Dao clearly don't know what I'm saying. I haven't told them what happened, so they can't understand. Wait, you mean you've been to another attractor field? Wow, so that's the power of reading Steiner. How do you know about that? Dad told me, and I've met you before, Uncle Ocarine, in the future, that is. You've met me? I see, so the me of that attractor field went to the past too. Faint smile flickers across her face. Then she looks at me with renewed intendancy. Uncle Ocarine, I know you don't want to, but no, I won't let Krisa's death be in vain. I won't let Mayuri die. Huh? Mayushi dies? By Krisu, I assume you mean Maske Krisu. Listen, Uncle. Let's say, hypothetically, that the only way to change the future in this war line is to go to July 28th, 2010, the day Maske Krisu dies, and save her. What would you do? Eh? Shock will pursue my body. What did she say? Save Krisu? But how? We no longer have the phone wave or the time leap machine. And even if we did, I could never leap that far back. Of course. I look over Suzuha's shoulder at the object disguised as a satellite. Your time machine. We can use your time machine. It came all the way back from 2036. It should have no trouble going back a mere 3 weeks. Even better, this time machine can do what Alpha Suzuha's could not. It can travel to the future. I can go back to the 28th, save Krisu, and return to the present. No D-mails, no time leaps. Genuine physical time travel. I can't refuse. I literally can't refuse. I saw this time machine once before on July 28th, that fateful day. Shortly before Krisu was killed, I saw it standing in this very spot. I'm sure it was standing before me now. There's only one thing that can mean. It has already been established that this time machine will appear on that day in this place. Even before I sent the first email, my participation was assured. Even the thought of turning Suzuha down now is meaningless. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is inevitable. The revelation makes me dizzy. It looks like I don't have the tiniest atom of free will. That my every action from the moment of my birth has been planned for me by some cosmic force. The world line I'm aiming for isn't, what did you call it? The Alpha world line? It's not that. What we're aiming for is the space between attractor fields. The space between? The lines where there lies a world line unaffected by any attractor field. A world line known as Steins Gate. What? But that's a tuning name I pulled out my ass. It doesn't even have any mean anything. I was told that Steins Gate is a brand new world line. One no one has ever observed. But doesn't someone have to observe it to know it's there? Nope, it's never been observed. That's what makes it new. But Dad and Uncle Ocarine were able to calculate its divergence. Negative 0.0861049 relative to the current world line. That's where we'll find Steins Gate. And to reach that world line, we have to save Krisu? Exactly. She's the key to averting World War III. As long as she lives, the war won't happen. Or at least 5 5.7 billion people won't die? Why? Huh? Why Krisu? I mean, I know she's a genius, but are you telling me she's the hero who saved 5.7 billion people? I don't know. You don't know and you expect me to go along with this? Hey, I'm just following Dad's plan. And apparently you're the one who came up with it in the first place. If there's a flaw in your plan, then we're all in trouble. Sounds like you didn't hear it from me. Is that right? He passed away 10 years ago. 15 years from now. That is, in the year 2025. Same result as the Alpha World line. So I don't know the whole story. What I do know is that my dad continued your work. After you died, he built this time machine all by himself, just to see your plan through. That's my super hacker. He must have hacked into Seven and stole the research, then used it to construct his own time machine. On the Alpha World line, Seven killed Daru before you can complete the mission. But here, Daru is able to perfect his design. That's why it can go back to the future. At least, that seems like the most likely explanation. Uncle Ocarine? Like I said, Steins Gate is unobserved. No one knows what the future awaits us there. There's a chance that a dystopia rises from the ashes of World War III. There's a chance that Masuke Krisu dies just 2 days after you save her. There's a chance you don't die in 2025, but next week. But there's also a chance that when 2036 comes, there will be no dystopia, no world ravaged by war. There's a chance that everyone, including Masuke Krisu, will be still be alive. There's a chance that a wonderful future awaits. At least it won't be the future I came from, and it won't be the future the other me came from. That much is certain. Is unknown future really for the best? I would hate for the ending role to say, despite your best efforts, you made everything worse. See, I'm wondering now where this future would lead us. Not this future, where the Ferris's ending would lead, because that was a different number completely. As well as Suzuha's ending, which who knows what the hell happened there. But yeah, it would be interesting to see where that ended up being, where those ended up going, I should say. It's completely unknown, completely unpredictable. Krisu can't be saved, I know that. Even if we change the past, convergence will ensure her death, just as it did for Mayuri. It's impossible, there's no way this plan can succeed. In the end, fate will win. It always has. But if you're willing to try, if you're willing to come with me to July 28th, then take my hand. I look at Suzuha's hand. Her skin is rough, her palm is colorized. This cool, collected, unsmiling Suzuha came from a ruined world, from the ashes of war that claimed over 5 billion lives. I can only imagine what she's been through. Krisu. How I dreamt of saving her. I would do anything to change her fate. But how do I know this invention won't lead me into another maze of despair? Mayushi doesn't understand any of this. But this Masuke person is very important to you, wasn't she? I think you should go for it. 5.7 billion people. Man, I can't even imagine. But don't sweat the small stuff. Just save the girl. You're set for life. It's the dream of every otaku. Oh. Oh. Daru, this is why you are the greatest character. 5.7 billion people. That's a big thing, you know. Lots of responsibility. But forget about that small stuff. Save the girl. I fucking love Daru. Mayu and Daru offer me encouragement. But it's not enough to overcome my doubt. The Maske Krisu I knew, lab member 004, is already gone. Even if I ever save her on this world line, she won't remember any of the time she shared with us. There's no point. I won't bend time to my convenience, not again. I'm not God, I don't have that right. If I try, I'll end up just making things worse. Reason pleads with me to stop. And yet, I look at Suzuha's outstretched hand, and then, with resignation, I grasp it firmly. I'm in. Try though I might to fight it, the choice is made for me on July 28th, the moment I laid eyes upon this time machine. Fate wants me to take your hand, who am I to argue? I'm not all that confident that I can save Krisu. How many times have I tried to resist fate only to fail? I don't want to see her die. But if there's a chance, however small, that she can be saved, I have to try. Even if I can't take back what we had. I want more than anything to save her. Let's go. Thank you, Uncle Ocarine. Hop aboard. Can this thing even fit two people? Of course it can. It's my dad's masterpiece. Daru, your daughter really loves you. I don't get it, but stop calling me dad. I'd rather be your big brother, if you know what I mean. That's literally your daughter, dude. Be sure to come back, okay? I don't want you to disappear, okay? And not go into another world. Just a short hop back to the past. I pat my arms reassuringly. Then I follow Suzuha into the time machine, hatch and slip inside. The interior is cylindrical and surprisingly tight. When I sit down on the ledge that rims the cylinder, it puts me face to face with Suzuha. Kind of like one of those giant teacup rides. There are fewer controls than I expected. The inside definitely looks more refined than when I saw Suzuha's time machine in the Alpha World line. But one thing remains the same, the time display panel. A black screen with red lettering. I guess that's just Daru's taste. Give me your phone. When I hand it over, Suzuha casually tosses it out of the hatch. Hey! It's better not to bring it. It'll cause interference. Interference? Oh, I see. We're going back to July 28th. There'll be two of me, and if I bring it, two of my phone. I guess that could be a problem if I got a call or something. So time travelers really need to be careful about what they bring to the past. Shut the hatch. I hear Mayu and Daru cheering outside. Mayu caught my phone, thankfully. I give them a final nod, then close the hatch. Silence engulfs us. So this is kind of intimate, isn't it? Suzuha's operating the time display panel. She sets the destination, July 28th, 2010, 10 minutes to 12. That should do it. That's kind of awfully close. I remember that Dr. Nakabayashi's presentation began at 12. This time machine can't physically move. Meaning, no matter what time we travel to, we always arrive at the exact same coordinates. In other words, on the roof of Radican. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but there's no time to explain. Anyway, we could leap to the day before the presentation, but if we attract too much attention, then they would close Radican and cancel the presentation, and that's why we've got to cut it close. I see. Makes sense. Uncle, this is your first time traveling, right? Okay, first, stop calling me uncle. And yes, I made more time leaps than I want to remember, but I've never time traveled before. According to John Titor, the G-force is pretty strong. You feel like you've been stretched out. Ah, yeah, I wrote that. The John Titor stuff? Right, back when I leapt to 2000. I see. The past has changed. Changed back, I suppose, from my point of view. When I was on the Alpha World line, I saw Titor post on @channel in real time. On this world line, those posts were made to English BBS in the year 2000. You don't sound surprised. Nothing can surprise me now. My brain's too busy trying to process all this new information. I feel like it's gonna blow! I'll go over the mission one more time. Once we arrive, there'll be no time for chit-chat. The objective is to prevent Masuke Krisu's death. Ever since I returned to this war line, I've avoided all news of Krisu's murder. I was afraid of seeing the result in stone. So I still don't know who killed Krisu. I don't know how or why she died. I don't know anything at all. If I'd known it would come to this, I would I have looked things up? I asked myself that question. The answer is no. How about the attractor field convergence? That day's a turning point, remember? Meaning the probability of Masuke Krisu's death is roughly 50%. So convergence won't happen? It may happen, it may not. No, it probably will. But I'm sure there's a loophole somewhere. That loophole is the doorway to Steins Gate. So in the end, it's a gamble. Oh, one more thing. Watch out for Dr. Nakabayashi. What do you mean? Remember what I said about World War III? All that started because of something called the Nakabayashi paper. A paper Dr. Nakabayashi wrote detailing his theory of time travel. But that forged time travel is just a rip-off of John Titor's. Wait a minute, John Titor's standing right in front of me. So, what Titor posted on the internet was true? I mixed in some lies, so not many people listened to me at the time. I never thought someone would reevaluate it 10 years later. Looks like he built the theory off what I wrote. Apparently it's almost perfect. Anyway, Dr. Nakabayashi was there when Masuke Krisu was killed, right? So watch out for him. I'm sure he's important to the divergence of this war line. The doctor's important? I thought he was just some con artist. Ready to go? Fasten your seatbelt. I look underneath my butt to find what looked like a car seatbelt. I wrap it around my waist and fix my body to the seat. Does it shake a lot? Shake? No, it doesn't shake. You mean it does something else? Wait, is this safe? Suza leans forward and pushes a bright yellow button on the bottom of the panel. There are no windows, so I can't tell if the time machine is moving. It's only 3 weeks, so it shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes. Suza fastens her own belt and sighs. When I first leapt to 1975, it was 6 long hours with nothing to do. I guess time travelers have their own problems. Ooh, wrong button. Oh, still wrong buttons. There we go. Since it's only a few minutes, we won't bother with the oxygen mask. Just be aware we have no oxygen for the duration. Wait, what? You mean I have to hold my breath? Right here. Suza points to the center of the cylinder, the space between me and her. There'll be an air pocket. Stuck your head inside and you'll have enough oxygen for about 10 minutes. Hey, for argument's sake, What happens if we fail to save Krisu? There's not much fuel left. We barely have enough to begin with. There's not enough for a return trip. There's not even enough for a return trip to 1936. So if you fail to change the water line, then I'll be stuck in this time. But don't worry, as long as we're just traveling 3 weeks each way, we still have enough for 2 full round trips. So what she's really saying is we only have 2 chances. But then, how do you plan to get back to 2036? I don't. Once we reach Steins Gate, I won't have any reason to come back to. I won't have any reason to come to this time in the first place, will I? Causality will be reconstructed. I should disappear from this time, since I'll probably be living peacefully in 2036. But that depends on you, Uncle Ocarine. The tone is light, but expression is serious. This is the first time in weeks that we've spoken, but I now realize something about her. Suza's pretty reckless, isn't she? Whoa! Suddenly these zapping sound and countless faint silver lights start floating around the cylinder. They look like moth dust, or powdered snow. The light slowly changes colour. Violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, black, red, back to silver, violet, blue. The colours of a rainbow? I guess that kind of makes sense if you're going faster than light. And isn't a rainbow just the different reflections of light, or something or other, split from the drops of rain? I feel pressure on my entire body, similar to the sensation you feel as you ascend in an elevator. In an elevator, if you feel like you're being pulled downwards, but instead the time machine is being pulled, is like being pulling at my back. The feeling of pressure quickly increases. It starts to feel like I'm falling horizontally. I've never experienced anything like this. It's so uncomfortable, I want to scream. The strangest thing is that the time machine itself isn't shaking. In fact, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. There's no noise, no vibration. It's eerie. The pulling sensation grows even stronger. I can hear my bones creaking. I imagine my body flattening like a pancake. It's not a pleasant thought. It's getting worse. Look at Suzaha. She has her eyes shut and her jaw clenched tight. I can no longer move. It feels like my back is glued to the wall. My vision begins to warp. And within my warping vision, the power of the light still shifts to the colours of the rainbow. It's strangely beautiful, like something out of a painting. And still I keep falling. Where is it taking me? Through a tunnel in space? All I know is I'm falling. Suddenly everything goes dark. I try to scream, but even my voice falls away. It doesn't reach my own ears. It's gravity. There's an intense gravitational distortion behind me. I'm still falling towards it. My vision slowly recovers. The smell of ooze fills ozone. Why do I keep seeing that as ooze? Ozone? Oz1? Fills my nostrils. Suzaha takes a deep breath and unfastens her seatbelt. We're here. I gulp for air. Did I really just travel through time? If so, this is July 28th. The day Krisu and I first meet. The day I sent the first email. The day it all began. Suzaha takes out a digital watch. It's fairly old-fashioned design. I bought it in 2095, but it's not even 3 years old yet. This is where an uninformed person would say, in Japanese, please. Suzaha sets the watch to the correct time, then hands it to me. So, does that mean she spent 2 years? Unless she bought it and it was 3 years old, or 2 years old when she bought it. The display reads 11:51. Nakabayachi's presentation starts at 12. Let's do this. You keep an eye on Masuke Krisu, and I'll stop whoever tries to kill her. And you? I'll back you up. Also, remember how I took away your phone? The U on July 28th is here too, meaning there are currently 2 Okabe Minotaurs in the world. Whatever you do, don't let your past self see you. It could cause a major time paradox. But Taya said that couldn't happen. That was a lie, misinformation. Come to think of it, Officer said stuff she posted on the many worlds interpretation was fake too. Got it. Then let's go. We'll rendezvous at the time machine when it's over. Suza finishes her rushed explanation and motions me towards the hatch. I open the hatch and grab the rim. I squeeze my way out. Suza calls out after me and closes the hatch. You hide, I'll provide a distraction. Suza runs up to the emergency door, and then, to my astonishment, she draws her gun and fires at the doorknob. The door easily opens. It must have broken the lock. Any minute now, a crowd of people run up these stairs to see what happened, and past self will be among them. I need to hide before they get here. That was a close one. I nearly bumped into myself on the 8th floor landing. Right after I ran downstairs to the 7th floor, I hear footsteps running the other way behind me. Those footsteps were mine, no doubt. It was a near miss. To be safe, I descend to the 4th floor before stopping to take a breath. I take a look around, there's no one paying attention to me. I wonder what Suza's doing. I'm worried, but I need to focus on my own mission. I must prevent Krisu's death. In about 30 minutes from now, and after Nakabayachi's presentation ends, someone will murder her. I know where it happens, on the 8th floor hallway, towards the back of the building, where people rarely go. What I don't know is who stabbed her. Instead of running around and drawing attention to myself, I should just wait at the scene. Let's cool off here for about 5 minutes and then head over there. If I remember correctly, Chris had talked to me in the assembly hall, but I blew her off and came down here. After that, I tried calling Mayuri, but her phone was off, and I couldn't get through, so I went back up to the assembly hall to find her. What time was that? I searched my memories trying to plot the actions I took on July 28th. It sounds simple when Suzaha said it, but staying away from my past self is going to take more work than I thought. Frustration mounts, I shoved Suzaha's watch into my pocket to quash it. Just then... Excuse me. That voice. I turn around. Krisu? Do I know you? No. You came down from the roof just now, didn't you? She looks at me with those beautiful eyes shining with intelligence and strength of will. I thought I would never see her again, but now, before my very eyes, it's the girl I love. Tears well up in my eyes. I want to embrace her right this instant. It takes everything I have to resist the urge. Don't forget, this is our first meeting. This Krisu doesn't know me. I hear the strange sound from the roof. Is that why the building shook just now? What's going on? It's not Dr. Nakabayachi's doing, is it? Why did I have to run into Krisu, of all people? I can't answer. I'm afraid that if I speak, I'm unable to contain my emotions. The memory of the last smile is burned to my mind, imploring me to act. Are you listening? You're sweating like crazy. Krisu looks at me with suspicion. What would happen if I were to grab Krisu and run? Would divergence change? Would her murder be averted? I recall all the times Mayuri died. I recall all the times I time-leapt to save her. Everything I tried ended in vain. I was unable to save her even once. No matter what I did, the world itself killed her. Won't that be the same with Krisu? Should I even try? I reached towards Krisu, my hand shaking. Hey! She steps back in surprise and fear, clutching a mania envelope in her chest. This is the first meeting. I know that, but to me, she's still the girl I love. If I'd been thinking straight a second ago, I wouldn't have raised my palm. I would have realized that my plan to grab her and flee wasn't going to work. Chrissy would never follow some strange man she only just met. Running isn't an option. All I can do is wait at the scene of the crime. Fighting against the urge to stay, I forced myself to turn and leave. Please answer my question. But Chrissy pursues me. Why is she so desperate to know who I am? Do I look suspicious? I do look suspicious, I admit that. But if she thinks I'm dangerous, why would she come alone? I turn around reluctantly to meet Chrissy's stare. Answer me. Can I really save you? The words catch in my throat. Can I save her? I don't know. All I know is that convergence is merciless and cruel. And I'm powerless to stop it. Can you... what? I shake my head, then bolt for the stairs before Chrissy can react. Wait, stop! When I make it back to the 8th floor, the presentation has already started. I peek in through the door of the assembly hall. Who the hell am I? Someone who knows you for the Ford? That's who. Someone in the audience is shouting at the doctor. And that someone is me. Now I remember. I confronted Dr. Nakabayashi in the middle of the presentation. I called him the Ford for ripping off John Titus' posts. From this angle, I look like a real asshole. So someone throw that man out. Staff members approach. Damn, this is embarrassing. But there's nothing I could do here. I need to leave before Chrissy appears. I turn around and head deeper into the dim passage. Image flashes through my mind. She was lying there at the end of this passage in a puddle of her own blood. 20 minutes from now, that's exactly what will happen. Can I prevent it? I must, whatever it takes. There's a pile of junk, toolboxes, cardboard, and the like. It's about halfway down the passage, the perfect hiding spot. I'll crouch behind them. Now all I have to do is wait for Chrissy to show. But what will I do when she does? Only now do I realize that I'm completely unarmed. I really didn't think this through. Chrissy was lying in a pool of blood. That means her killer had a weapon. Since I don't hear a gunshot, it must have been a knife or something similar. How am I going to defend her? And myself? Is there anything around here that might work as a weapon? I still have about 20 minutes. But one wrong move and someone might catch me. I shouldn't leave this spot. Maybe I'm being overly cautious, but this is my only chance to prevent Chris's death. I don't want to jeopardize that. I don't know what I'll do if I run into Chris again. It's a miracle I managed to tear myself away last time. Huh. And you know, if you think back, way back to the first episode, to what Chrisu first said when we first saw her, things slightly start to match up. The longer I'm in the darkness, the harder it becomes. The anticipation is killing me. So far, not a single soul has passed down this hallway. I can faintly hear Nakabayashi's voice through the mic from far away, but that's it. The silence does nothing but increase my tension. To make matters worse, it's hot and humid. I guess the air conditioner is not back on back here. My entire body is drenched in sweat, and I haven't even been hiding for a minute. Sweat drips from my brow to the floor. I rub it with my shoe. I rub it out. Sweat drips from my brow to the floor. Oh, I rub it out with my shoe. I have to keep waiting. There's no other choice.